and of course, you for all that you're doing. I'm sorry we had to put you through a Pocono race, but you're a trooper.
Sorry, you made me laugh there. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's alright. Oh, Sanchez has gone from an almighty flip. He got hit by the wall monster. That's where we see him flipping back onto his wheels. That was an incredible flip. Sam here going into turn one. See, he's got the 25 of Brandon Miller behind him, who just went through him a little bit. Sam does have an issue with being low on blinker fluid. Not sure if that's what caused that or not. Oh, Sanchez. Very lucky not to hit Sam head on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Road America for the What the Fuck is a Kilometer 138 right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Qualifying has just been complete. It is time for us to head down to the grid and see how our drivers are going to stack up in this race. And starting on the pole would be the 72 of TJ Crampton, On his outside will be the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez. Starting out of P3 will have the 1 of Austin Collins. And out of the 4th position will be the 05 of Scott Rickard. P5, sorry, will be the 39 of James Watson. P6, the 7 of Kyle Kraus. P7 will be the 38 of Thomas Harmon, with P8, the 92 of Chris Champeau. P9 will be the 00 of Andrew Perkins. P10, the 9 of Joe Slama. Got Andrew Griesbaum out of 11th. See Matt Sassola there out of 12th. 13th will be the 24 of Frank Isaacson. There's Austin Merrow in the 28 car. He'll be out of 14th. Then we've got Kyle McCoy out of 15th. Corey Cook out of P16. 17th will be the 88 of Matt Horton. 18th, the 32 of Matt Opliger. There's Mo Abat in the 48 out of 19th. Travis Masia in the 13 out of 20th. And Jonas Marquez in the 64 and the 21st, with Mark Pentecoff wrapping up the field out of 22nd. As you can see, the pace car starting to roll. TJ Crampton will be on the pole. He's going to have tough competition there with the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez starting on his outside. And there is the chance of cautions around this track, as automatic full course cautions are turned on. Takes a special circumstance to get them though. But the first start will be on the flag and all the restarts will be on the leader. No restart zone here, as we are underway. See, it looks like a little bit of a wheel spin there for the 2 of Hernandez. He's on the preferred line there on the outside because it is the racing line. Means the 72 Crampton will have to check up a whole lot more to get into the corner. And you can see right there, Hernandez just swoops his way into the lead. Crampton still side by side with Scott Rickard, although they've gotten themselves sorted out now. As we move to turn 3 for the first time, down the mid straight, heading into the downhill for the big braking zone of turn 5. After we get out of the carousel, we will just focus on whatever. As Hernandez got loose there going through turn 5, Crampton has a little bit of a sniff, couldn't quite do anything with it. They go through turn 6 into the very quick turn 7. You see Crampton just looking for any kind of a move he can get over Hernandez right now. And I think he's got it here at turn 8. He does. What an overtake. That was excellent. As they head into the carousel for the first time. And Scott Rickard almost looks like he was going to run up the back of Jonathan Hernandez there. But now we're going to start focusing on just anything and everything to see what we can see. And to see if we can find any battles or any mishaps happening throughout the race. With Scott Rickard in 3rd. And we've got an off track. That's from Kyle Kraus. That's a 7 car. Bit slow coming out of the kink. 88, Matt Horton. He took a little bit of grass there. Just coming through one of the kinks on this back straight, which isn't very straight. Oh, Austin Merrow, we heard the lockup. And there goes his engine. Let's see what happened to him here. If it will show us what happened to him here. And it will not. So I'm just going to try and hope I can get this to work. And you see he just got loose there coming into the braking zone. And unfortunately, that is all she wrote. And that is going to be his race done and dusted. As we are going to go back to racing action. And we have the complete wrong camera angle there. Now we got the right one. Why is it still focusing on Austin? I do not know. There we go. We're on Scott Rickard now. Scott still in the third position. Trying anything he can to catch up to Crampton and to Hernandez. Oh, and Rickard has just taken the lead. I didn't even realize that Crampton has slipped back to third. No idea when that happened. Rickard has now taken the lead. And now Crampton has to fight to try and get back into that front position. And it looks like Austin Merrow, OUT, out of this race. It's unfortunate that he was the first casualty of Road America. See in the background there, a little bit of battle forming between Watson and Austin Collins. It looks like Collins conceded position there to Watson, allowing him to get through. Ooh, Matt Sassola. He's gone around. Let's see what happened to Matt there. He's battling it out with Kyle Kraus. They come through the corner. And he just gets on the gas a little bit too hard. He goes for the half spin there, overcorrects it, and spins it all the way out the other way. A little bit of contact there with the 7 of Kraus. And that looks to have ripped off the back bumper of the Kraus car. Couple more cars off in the background there. That was Frank Isaacson and I think the 88 of Matt Horton. Sassola does continue on, albeit towards the back. Scott Rickard still leading the way. We're currently looking at Chris Champeau in a 92 car. He's sitting there in the 7th position. He's trying to catch up to Austin Collins. Kyle Kraus. And he is quite far back as well. Down in the 12th position. I'm just sitting here wondering why all of my timestamps here for these incidents are going wrong, as this is a bit of a loopy moment with a few drivers. 92 Chris Champeau made it through on Austin, and Austin has also let through Harmon and Perkins. So Collins now drops down to 8th. He's got Joe Slammer on his tail as well, looking to get through. There's Austin. As they're heading towards the carousel, I think. No, that's the kink. There's a couple of cars in the carousel, which threw me off. I was looking at my little track map. As up the inside goes Joe Slammer on Collins now. And Slammer has just moved his way up into 8th. Andrew Griesbaum out there in the 68 car. He'd be looking for the same. Griesbaum, who didn't have a great race in Las Vegas on Sunday night in the Winstell League. As Rickard's still leading away from Crampton, Hernandez, Watson, and Champeau. That's your top 5. And we're already 3 laps complete in this 20-lap race. As look at the big dive bomb there for the 7 of Kyle Kraus. He dove up the inside of Griesbaum, up the inside of Collins. And welcome to the top 10, Kyle Kraus. Goes Griesbaum now up the inside of Collins. He makes that move stick, displacing Collins now outside of the top 10. I still can't believe that almighty send from Kyle Kraus just then. That was a thing of beauty. Oh, Collins with a big lockup. Now Collins under attack from Opliger. And look at Opliger go up the inside of Collins this time. Collins just seems to be struggling with the handle on this number 1 Toyota. As we are nearing quarter distance on this race. Let's check in with how our leaders are doing. Oh, the 05, Scott Rickard, ran a little bit wide there in Canada corner. TJ Crampton all over his tail right now. Oh, big slide up the inside. No contact made. Scott Rickard will continue to lead this race as a complete lap number 4. But how long can he hold on to it for? Because at the completion of 5 laps is the stage for the road course here. We only have the single stage. And it's usually about a quarter distance. And no caution will be thrown for it. Oh no, and the 48, Abat. I just noticed he was in the pits and he is now out. Kyle Kraus also out of contention. He's going down to pit lane right now. There's a 61, the Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook. Oh, and a big spin out there for Cook. That's at turn 5. The big downhill braking zone. Corey Cook just dropping positions now. Oh, Travis Massia just pulled up before hitting him. And now Corey Cook all the way down in 16th position, possibly 17th now, as Frank Isaacson gets around him. Go back up to the front of the field. Crampton has retaken the lead. Not sure where he did it. But he's up there and he'll probably take out the first stage win here tonight. Scott Rickard all of a sudden just lost a whole ton of pace. He might be struggling for a bit of grip. Oh, and he is. Look at him slide his way through the final corner. And here comes the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez now. He's going to take over second before they get to the line. Hernandez takes second place points for the top 10 who will get stage points. But it's all down to this man right now leading the 72, TJ Crampton. and we're going to go on board with him, and then we are going to go to a commercial break. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the WTF is a kilometer 138 right here from Road America. Welcome back to the WTF is a kilometer 138 right here from Road America, and we're looking out the back camera of TJ Crampton, our leader, as he's looking at the distant battle ensuing between the 2 and the 05. There's been a constant battle here for second between Hernandez and Rickard. They've been swapping positions constantly. In other news, Kyle Kraus is back out on track. He's currently 2 laps down. But what can Rickard do as they head down towards turn 5? Will he make the move stick? Goes for the big lunge. They're side by side. They're squirming under brakes. Oh, Crampton's made a big mistake. Looks like he's locked up going into the corner. And he has now been demoted down to 3rd. As Rickard and Hernandez now continue to battle for what is the lead. And Crampton has almost dropped back down into the clutches of Champeau as a 05 car. Experimenting with some alternate dimensions as they come around the carousel. So we'll instead focus on the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez. As Hernandez is controlling this race quite comfortably right now. Oh, Hernandez picked up a little bit of grass there. They come down to Canada corner. That was a very nice corner there for Hernandez. We're also getting fairly close to green flag stops here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go on board for a lap with the 2 of Hernandez. He drifts his way through the final corner. He'll get overtaken by Scott Rickard here, but let's just have a look at how he handles this track from on board. All the way up into 4th gear. And he lifted early there. It sounds like he's got Crampton up on his inside. And there goes Crampton. That's Hernandez now down to 3rd. As they come onto the mid straight. This is technically the 4th turn right here, this little kink. As they finish climbing the hill, now they start going down the hill. big braking zone all the way down to first. Try not to spin the wheels. Granted, went a little bit wide there. Up into this little 90-degree left-hander. And then they'll go into this 80-degree right-hander. All the way down to another left-handed 90 before the carousel. And then here comes the carousel. This is where you really want to watch how fast you're going. You don't want to give it too much gas because this is such a constant turn. And it really puts some wear and tear on those left side tyres. Big gas as they come towards the kink. And now we're on what is technically the back straight. Ooh, there's a big slide there for Hernandez. He got a little bit of grass on exit. And you start hitting the brakes before you get through that little left-handed kink. Down the gears. And start climbing up them again. Another little kink into a left-hander. This is a penultimate corner. And here is the final one as we start heading back up the hill to the start-finish line. And you hear there, Hernandez chirping the tyres through the corner. And he's actually been getting caught there by Chris Champeau. Champeau unable to do anything about it. And behind Champeau is James Watson there in 5th. Let's have a look at the whole field again once more. And I can see Kyle Kraus is now out of the race. Guessing the repairs done to the car were not satisfactory enough for him to keep running. Either that or another mistake had been made. We're currently now still looking at Jonathan Hernandez. You know, we've got the camera set to focus on crashes. This could end up becoming a pretty epic battle as the majority of the field has strung out here. I don't think anyone has come in for their pit stop just yet. At the end of this lap, there will be 9 complete. Brampton starting to pull away. He's got over a second. Sorry, Scott Rickard pulling away. He's got over a second to Crampton. Crampton hasn't been able to catch him just yet. And it's about another second back from Crampton to Hernandez. As Crampton gets a good run there through the kink. He's starting to close in on the leader, Scott Rickard. There's not much Champeau can do about the two of Hernandez. Oh, there's Andrew Perkins. He got a little bit wild there in Canada corner. Now going to be side by side with the 38. That's Thomas Harmon. Perkins in P6, Harmon in 7th. And Harmon is hounding the back of this double O machine. And Crampton has made another mistake somewhere. He's dropped back to 3rd, almost to 4th. So Scott Rickard now has a 2-second gap over the field. As, oh, there's a little bit of contact there, a little bit of hip and shoulder between Crampton and the 92 of Champeau. With these big lumbering cars and a tight corner like that, it's very easy for side-to-side contact to be made. Especially with how shallow you have to be to try and be on the inside line there. I'm pretty sure they made contact while Crampton was still on the ripple strip. Might have caught a little bit of grass. Just trying to give Champeau as much room as possible. Yeah, everyone running over a little bit of dirt there on the exit of turn 5. So hard to stop these cars. Very easy for the heat soak to make these brakes fairly useless after a few laps. if you overuse them, that is. This is a nice little spirited battle. We got Opliger, we got Slama and Greasebalm. These guys battling over 8th, which is what Slama has. Everyone else wants it. And it just seems to be a fairly tight little battle here, as our leaders have just made their way through Canada Corner. These guys just coming through to Kink. There's still some people who haven't even gotten around the turn 5 yet, as I just saw someone pitting. That's Mark Pentacuff. What happened to the driver at the 5 just now? He's coming up to the final corner. And does he overcook it? He had a little bit of wheel hop there on the left front. That's very strange. But it does look like he has indeed overcooked it. And around he goes. Will he keep it off the fence? And Survey says no. Quite the solid hit there to the inside fence. And that's possibly an engine for the 5 car. We go back to this battle for 8th. And Slammer is still leading it, as Watson's just gotten around Champeau. Crampton is in the pits. We're at the halfway mark. 10 down, 10 to go. The Crampton and Champeau have both come into the pits. This puts all the pressure off of Rickard and Hernandez, and even James Watson. Big gap between Watson and Perkins. Oh, a lock up there for Opliger. He goes wide. He takes the rain line. Greasebalm sneaks up his inside to take over 9th. This gives the 9 of Slama a little bit of breathing room. Sasola has also come into the pits, and Crampton has just come out of the pits. 44 seconds behind the leader of Rickard. Now, in theory, every car should have to pit in this race. It shouldn't be a question of fuel mileage, because everyone has to pit. But we'll wait and see, because some drivers are really, really good at fuel saving. Yeah, this is definitely the closest battle on track right now between these 3. See Greasebalm trying to get onto the back of Slama at any cost. And it looks like we have indeed lost Mark Pentacuff. His engine gave up on him and he is gone. So we have 4 retirements for the race. Those being Pentacuff, Kraus, Abat, and Mero. Slama still holding off Greasebalm right now, though. As Hernandez and Rickard have both come into the pits. This now opens things up for Watson. Perkins is in. Harmon has not pitted yet. Now let's see where Hernandez, Rickard, and Perkins come out in relation to Crampton and Champeau. Crampton 35 seconds behind Watson. In fact, he's just gotten around Jonas Marquez, who is losing time in the bucket loads. What's happened here to Jonas Marquez? He's coming into the pits now. And it looks like he just runs wide there in the final corner. Let's slow it down and have a good look at it. Yeah, it looks like he's just gotten his braking marker a little bit wrong. Maybe even a little bit of a lockup there. And he cuts himself wide and into the sand. That's both TJ and Champo by. And then he ducks into the pit lane to take his mandatory stop. Now, I don't mean mandatory as in everyone has to pit. If someone is that good at fuel saving that they can do without it, then hooray for them. But Perkins and Marquez are both in the pits. And Crampton has got both Hernandez and Rickard. Rickard had dropped below Champo there coming out of the pits. So the race is on for them once more. They're on screen. There's Scott Rickard in the 05. He had just gotten back around Champo. There's, Rickard. His car had the hippie shake. So too did Jonathan Hernandez. And Chris Champo gets to both of them. And he slips up into what is effectively second place right now. Watson, Harmon, Slammer, Griesbaum, Opliger, and Collins still get to pit. Crampton effectively your race leader right now. Chris Champo effectively P2, with the two of Hernandez currently effectively P3, even though they're actually 7th, 8th, and 9th, respectively. Oh, big slide there for Hernandez. That's coming out of the kink, leading on to the back straight. The crooked back straight. Oh, just about contact there with Champo as they were going through Canada corner. That's allowed Rickard through. Here's Slammer, Griesbaum, and Opliger again. They're still battling on. They haven't pitted yet. Oh, and what happened to Slammer there? Slammer, he's gone. He's managed to keep it off the fence. Let's see what unfolded there, because that was nuts. Oh, a little bit of a touch from the 63. 68. Yeah, 68. Griesbaum. And unfortunately, that's set Slammer right off course. A little bit of a touch on the tail of the car. Has managed to pull it up before going nose first into those tires, which would not be a very fun way to spend your race day. That puts Griesbaum up into third place right now. Opliger in fourth. And Slammer, he's dropped back into the realm of TJ Crampton. There goes TJ now. So Slammer is effectively a pit stop behind. Morton has entered the pits in the 88 car. We'll go back to focusing on crashes. We are still looking at Joe Slammer though, as in the background, a 92 Chris Champo ran wide. And that's allowed Scott Rickard through. So Rickard effectively P2 right now, as Slammer has ran wide. And he allows these guys battling to go past. He's not a part of this fight. There's Griesbaum. He's looking to get on the back of Opliger. Take back that position. On track, this is the battle for third. Collins not too far behind them as well. And this is the effective battle for third between Rickard and Champo. Oh, and Champo ran wide. That's allowed Hernandez through. Hernandez now effectively in P2. We're 13 laps down. And we still have 5 cars who have not pitted. If they've gone this long, survey says they're going to try and run this all the way out without stopping. As Griesbaum and Collins once more battling down into the treacherous turn 5. Griesbaum was much later on brakes than what the one car was. Crampton is almost on the back of Austin Collins. Crampton putting in some horrifically quick laps right now. As up the outside, Champo has gotten Hernandez back. It's so hard to keep track of everything going on with the information that I keep looking at. We still only have the 4 DNFs in this race. There is only 18 cars on the lead lap because of the 4 retirements. There is a battle for the on-track wooden spoon, though. That is between Isaacson and Horton. And Isaacson has actually just pulled away from Horton a little bit, so I think Horton might have made a little bit of a mistake somewhere, somehow. Looking at Griesbaum once more. These guys still have not pitted. Even with 14 laps complete. See TJ Crampton just there in the background, waiting for these guys to make a mistake. There he is. He's on fresher tires. So he should have the pace over these guys right now. As Slama has gone to the pits. And there's TJ right on the tail of Collins. I think for the moment we are going to go to a commercial break because I'm pretty sure these passes are going to be pretty academic as Crampton comes up the inside of Collins. He'll now start chasing down the 68 of Griesbaum. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be going to the end of this race. Make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the WTF is a Kilometer 138 be coming up shortly. And welcome back to the WTF is a Kilometer 138. Here from the Road America circuit, we're riding on board with our current race leader, James Watson, in the 39 car, and he is in max fuel saving mode. Just listen to the way he's lifting and coasting through most of these corners, not getting on the gas until he is out of the corner. He is slowing down by getting off the gas well before the braking zone, and he's not getting back on it until it's time to really get this thing squirting. But Watson is currently our leader. Thomas Harmon in the 38 is currently P2, and he's just about to make his way into the carousel. There's a 20-second lead for James Watson. We've got Opliger in the 32, sorry. He is currently the third. But right on his tail is the first guy who came in for a pit stop at half race distance, the 72 of TJ Crampton. With 5 laps to go, as Opliger gets a little bit loose there in the kink. Money would say that Crampton, who doesn't have to do any fuel saving and can push these tires as hard as he wants, is in with a good shot here. Even though he is 23 seconds back, it's not an impossible margin. We go back to focusing on anything and everything. There is Jonathan Hernandez. So we look back at Sassola now and Travis Massia. These guys battling over 12th. Massia is another one who I haven't seen come to the pits yet either. Right behind them, Joe Slama in the 9 car. Slama had just recently come out of the pits. Here goes Opliger now, making his move on Massia. Sorry, that's Sassola, not Opliger. My apologies. Opliger has actually just been passed by Griesbaum, Collins, and Rickard simultaneously. Crampton's doing everything he can to try and chase down the 38 of Thomas Harmon right now. And as you can see, he is pretty close. You see TJ sliding his way through this section just before the carousel. Rickard, another one who is right on the pace. He's almost up the chuff of Griesbaum, who is sitting in 4th. But Thomas Harmon, another one of those who hasn't pitted, so too for Griesbaum, has not come in for a pit stop. Laps are winding down. Survey says they're not going to stop. We'll have to wait for this gap to come down a little bit more. It's Travis Massia and Matt Sassola. And Joe Slama has gotten around both of them. They're in 12th, 13th, and 14th. Right there, as you see him on track. Like Collins and Hernandez. Oh, I thought they were locked in mortal battle there for a second, but I was wrong. Right in front of them, there is a battle going on though. Scott Rickard has just recently gotten around Griesbaum, and he's starting to tear away. Crampton has moved up into second now. He's gotten around Harmon. as laps are winding down. Just 3 laps to go. In fact, 2.5. I can see on my little mini-map the leader of James Watson is just going around the carousel now. But Rickard's trying to catch up to Harmon, and Crampton trying to catch up to Watson. Breeze Farm has successfully made it through to Kink. Austin Collins right on his tail. Now the question is, where is Collins going to try and make the move? Not going to do it there, that's for sure. Scott Rickard just up the road. I thought for a second maybe Thomas had made a mistake. I saw the number starting to grow on the leaderboard there beside his name. As we're 2 to go. Rickard is drawing ever closer to Harmon. He's within a second. There's Harmon, there's Rickard. Crampton's about 5 seconds up the road from these guys. Unfortunately, he's only broken in a couple of seconds to what the gap was previously. But here goes Rickard now, looking to the inside of Harmon in turn 5. Love the flames coming out the side of the cars. And Rickard makes that move easy as Thomas Harmon went a little bit deep, ran wide. That's the fresher tyre advantage right there for Scott Rickard, as he now moves his way up into 3rd. But leading the way, there is the 39 of James Watson. He makes his way through to Kink. And he is just in absolute cruise control mode. He was braking very early there for Canada corner, making sure he doesn't make a mistake. And comes through the penultimate corner. He's not sliding the tyres at all either. Doesn't get upset by those bumps in the final corner. As he'll come up the hill, Fred the flag marshal will grant him the white flag to say white flag, last lap. Last chance to win it or wear it. Or he would, but Frank the flag marshal is being a bit difficult. But it is the last lap, I can guarantee you that. Just look at how calm and collected Watson is taking all these corners. You just see like where the flames are coming out. He's getting off the gas so early. He's just in absolute cruise control mode, and he has been the entire race. I'd say just about from the drop of the green flag, he's been looking after the fuel, looking after the tyres. As he comes down to turn 5 for the final time. He's not even taking that much of the grass inside of the curb there. He makes his way through the left, right section here. Did I say right, left, right? Oh, it's just right, left. I'm an idiot, twice. Into the carousel. I love this camera angle on the carousel. Just a crane hovering above the track. Comes through the kink. Not even tempted to go out near the outside of the track. The gap has closed down to 17 and a half seconds, so from when Crampton first got around Harmon, the gap has come down about 4 or 5 seconds. As he makes his way through the penultimate corner and then proceed into the final corner. As long as he doesn't make a big boo-boo, which it doesn't look like he will, your winner of the WTF as a Kilometer 138 here from Road America will be the 39 of James Watson. And this is a big victory for James as well. It's his first time in a long time. I think his last race win was here at Road America as well. There's TJ Crampton in the 72. He'll come home second. Scott Rickard in the 05 comes home third. And we have Thomas Harmon. He's fourth. Jonathan Hernandez just behind him in fifth. As everyone's still coming across. Looks like Griesbaum has run out of fuel here on the last lap. He's coasting up the hill. The Griesbaum will end up finishing ninth, coasting his way to the finish line. Here's Sola. He's still battling it out with the 13 of Masia. Oh, and it looks like Crampton giving a little bit of a push to Watson and a little bit of a celebratory door slam. Putting some donuts on it because that car is too clean. And I think Watson's just about out of fuel. He's got a long way to go if he wants to circumnavigate the track for this cooldown lap. The good thing this isn't Formula 1, or else he'd get disqualified for not having enough fuel on board. So we're still just waiting for everyone to finish. I think we just got 3 more. It's Isaacson, Cook, and Horton to come across the line. Oh, and James is still under his own power. Wonder how much longer he's going to have. But there is the standings now as everyone has finished, and I think Watson just ran out of fuel at the perfect time. It's Watson, Crampton, Rickard, Harmon, Hernandez, Collins, Champeau, and it wouldn't let me go through the rest of the list there because it went too quickly. Obliga, Slama, Sasola, Masia, Marquez, Isaacson, Cook, Horton, Pentacuff, Kraus in 20th, Abat, and Mero in 21st and 22nd, both of them out of the race. And you can see through the standing screen, oh, they've spun him. Trying to push him back to the start-finish line for his celebration, and yep, he got spun. As Rickard's going to take up a different position. There you go. And at the very least, they're going to get James back to the pit lane. Andrew Perkins there as well. This is one of the most Perkins things that could ever happen. But with that, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have the race review, since this is a recorded broadcast and driver interviews are unavailable. So stay tuned. That will be coming up shortly. All right, it is now time for our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And today's Hard Charger Award goes to our winner, the 39 of James Watson. Now, James didn't pit stop in that race. You could see from his lap times. I went through and had a look. He started out doing 2 minute 15 lap times and then very quickly dropped into the 16 and 17 second brackets, just looking after fuel, looking after tires. And he did that for the majority of the race, just trying to make it on a no stop strategy. But he finished this race in 45 minutes, 41 seconds. So he was still pretty damn quick about it. And we saw him very early in the race up there in the top 4, 5, 6, just plucking away, waiting for everyone to pit so he could have his moment. And he won by 16.5 seconds over our second place getter, the 72 of TJ Crampton. Great to see TJ up there doing well. He was definitely the one to watch throughout this entire race. He had some of the best pace out of everyone on track, and I'm sure if James had pitted, then we'd be speaking a very different tune here to the point of 5 seconds in favor of TJ Crampton. And the person that TJ beat by 5 seconds was the '05 of Scott Rickard. Now, Scott had plenty of chances to try and win this race. He just didn't quite have the consistency that TJ had, even though TJ had made some big mistakes. That was all in the first half of the race. And as soon as that second half of the race started and TJ really found his groove, Scott tried his best. He worked his way through the no pitters as well, but he could only amass himself to the third position. But still, a solid night for all three of these drivers, and they should all be very proud of themselves. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all very much for coming out and giving us a watch. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week as we stay in the same state, staying in Wisconsin, and we're going to be going to Chicagoland. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. Until then, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Chicago.